Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here, has a recording of this Wednesday, February 15th, 2023. I am on South Street in Philadelphia, the home, the birthplace of Larry Fine from the Three Stooges. There's a mural up there, and I figure if I'm going to do South Street in Philadelphia, I should get a hold of the one and only Philly Captain.
Here we are, Adam the Woo. We're doing a vlog together. Dreams are coming true here on South Street.
Here we, you usually do it louder than that.
Well, listen,
Here we are.
Your vlogs, you're a little bit more subdued than mine, yeah. You know what I'm really excited to say? Join me, shall you?
Nailed it.
Let's go.
So this mural was placed here because he was born in this spot.
Larry Fine was born, if you go down right here, his dad owned a jewelry store. And when Larry was a little kid, his dad had all types of cleaners, like acid stuff, to clean jewelry. And when Larry was a young lad with his curly hair, he grabbed a jar of like battery acid, and he burned his arm really bad. And because of him burning his arm, his doctor said for like a physical therapy exercise, he should play the fiddle. Because when you play the fiddle, you work these muscles. And the jewelry store was right here. And the reason Larry got to join the Three Stooges is because he was a fiddle player. So because of the accident that happened in his father's jewelry store.
No kidding. We
have Larry Fine as a Philadelphia hero.
Now I kind of mentioned, hey, you should take me down to South Street, because people always tell me, you know, because I'm a tourist, go to South Street, and you're like, really?
Yeah, South Street isn't what it used to be. 20 years ago, all these shops that went Grayton's down were open, independent stores.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, the retail space here is dying, but things are coming back. This is Dobbs on South Street. This is a cool bar. Back in the early 90s, Nirvana played here.
Really?
Green Day played here.
I like Green Day.
And,
this is this era of Green Day. Wait, I gotta pull this up.
It was that era.
It was the Kerplunk era.
It was the Kerplunk era.
Now another thing I've been doing while on this little tenure in Philadelphia is I'm asking the locals what their favorite Philly cheesesteak place is. You have any place in mind?
It's John's Roast Pork. It's like, I don't even know why you're having this conversation with other people. It's a known fact. John's Roast Pork makes the best cheesesteak in the world. How good is the cheesesteak at John's Roast Pork? They don't even have it in its name. Just Philly people know about John's Roast Pork.
No, I know.
Yeah, and I got something very special lined up for you in just a little bit, my friend. Wait till you see.
Is it on South Street?
It's not on South Street. It's in South Philadelphia. It's not that far from here. Now, there is a cheesesteak place right down the street called Jim's.
Oh, a lot of people have suggested Jim's.
But Jim's burned down in a fire.
So we won't be going to Jim's.
You can't go there. The cheesesteaks will be well done.
There is no shortage of authentic South Philly cheesesteaks, though, here. There's a spot here.
I'll tell you, there's something wrong with that sign. I don't think this is South Philly. Maybe it's like the very beginning of South Philly, but maybe. I don't think this is South Philly.
See, as a tourist, I would think this was, because I'm on South Street, be like, oh, I'm in South Philly.
Yeah, but you know what? The thing about tourists is, they don't know it. Tourists don't know much.
There's like a mural over here. Looks like a newer mural.
Yeah, this is a mural of Octavius Cotto. It has something to do with Philadelphia African-American firefighters in Philadelphia. And you can see they're over there putting out the fire.
Yeah.
And Octavius Cotto was a man who fought for African-Americans to have the right to vote in the late 1800s.
Okay, that's pizza. Is Philly known for its pizza also? Or is it more of a just, what's Philly known for? Cheesesteaks?
Cheesesteaks. Yeah. No, we got the best food in the world.
The best cheesesteaks or the best food in general?
We got the best food in the world. Listen. We have the best bread.
It's the bread.
The bread is what makes anything.
That's what I've been told.
The bread makes the pizza, the bread makes the sandwich, and there's something in our tap water that makes our bread taste better than anybody else's bread.
These look like new little clings on here, but they have like a retro vibe to it. South Cleaners. So this says South, so I would think that as a tourist, that would be in South Philly.
But this is South Street.
And that's South Street Market.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just gonna say it's South Philly. Where was Fresh Prince from?
He's from West Philly.
West Philly, born and raised.
On the playground. That's where he spent most of his days.
All right, we're now approaching engine company number 11, which has a lot of glass artwork. Now, yesterday I saw something like this over in Camden, probably by the same artist. You see how the sun is kind of beaming down upon this, giving it the little sparkling effect on the glass.
Well, the reason, the artist, his name's Isaiah Zargard, and he puts mirrors in all of his artwork because he wants you to see yourself in his art.
That makes sense. And he lived around here.
He lived right next 2 doors down. And if you look up, like, there's all kinds of crazy stuff. Plates, glasses.
Yeah. The Batman signal right there, the bat signal.
Come on.
Yeah. Is this the real life Gotham?
It could, you know what? Sometimes Philadelphia feels like Gotham.
It's even on the ground, yeah. Is there glass on the ground? Probably not, because the tires. Maybe though.
Well, it's flat.
Now this right here is interesting because it's like carved into the pavement, but then there's also another piece of art there making the face up.
Yeah.
Now you criticized me a little bit for not just calling it Philadelphia. I keep saying South Philadelphia, South Street.
Yeah.
Just call it Philadelphia.
Yeah, don't be so specific and you might not be wrong. And that's for anything.
Should I call it Philly or only locals call it Philly?
Call it Philly. No, nobody cares. Yeah, Philly. Yeah, I'm the Philly captain. Of course you can say Philly. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you not the Philadelphia captain?
No. Philadelphia. It's a hard word to spell. Philly, very easy.
If I called you the captain of Philadelphia, would you?
It happens more times.
Hey, it's the captain. Here we
are. No autographs. I'm just vlogging with Adam the Woo.
That's how I found you.
The Philly sports guy.
Was from all your Phillies videos.
Oh, that's how you found me?
Yeah. I like baseball.
I love, first off, everybody in the comments, tell Adam you love his baseball videos, because sometimes he's like, oh, I'm going to stop making baseball videos. No, you keep making them. I love your baseball videos. I love the way, because you actually get food, and you go to different stadiums, and you do it, and you get good seats.
I'm glad you enjoy them.
Everybody hit thumbs up for Adam the Woo.
Give it a big thumbs up.
Oh. Yeah, when you say you're going to stop making them, I was like, no!
Over here is the Philly Fanatic. Do you think, did he ever really climb the top of a pole above with a walk signal like that on Broad Street?
Sure, absolutely.
Think he did?
And just so you know, that pole is covered in grease. That's something we do in Philadelphia. Whenever our teams win championships, the Philadelphia Police Department goes to Broad Street and they grease up
no kidding.
All the poles.
Because people climb on the poles.
Right? Isn't that true? It is true. Can't make that up. That's something to be proud of.
How far is the stadium from here?
Not that far. We can go.
Can we go by there?
Yes, I can take you.
That would be awesome. I want to see the big P that's laying in the ground. They got the P down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope my buddy, the security guard's there. He'll yell at you for me.
Because I always like when you go, hold on. Here we are, Citizen Bank Park,
home of the Philadelphia Phillies. Let's go. NL champs.
And the Tampa Bay Rays are playing here next year, 24, so I might come back.
I can't wait to heckle you and yell at you for wearing stuff. Oh, it's going to be a good time.
I almost wore my Rays cap today, and I was like, is that frowned upon?
No. What? What? No. People think Philadelphia sports fans are like animals, and we just hurt people who wear other stuff. We're not like that.
So this isn't the Bronx?
No, we're way more classy than the Bronx people.
I've heard stuff about going to Rays games when they're playing the Yankees at Yankee Stadium, so I don't know.
Yeah, why are Yankees fans so angry? They win every other year.
I don't know.
There's angry people. I would be angry too if I lived in New York, who are part of, there's people who signed the Declaration of Independence. The guy who read the Declaration of Independence first time publicly is buried here. The portrait artist of the Founding Fathers, his name is Charles Wilson Peale. He painted every single Founding Father who was anybody.
He's here.
What's that?
He's in here.
Buried right here. Those are just outrageous. Look at that.
There he is. Yeah, look at that. It's like a pyramid there.
That's Charles.
So he's
Wilson.
the artist that drew. Okay, he was the artist that did all the presidents for that time?
Every founding father
who
had a portrait made was painted by Charles Wilson Peale. So he was in the room with Ben Franklin, George Washington, John Adams. He sat there, held conversations with them.
That is amazing.
And you notice that this looks like that steeple, and the reason why that does is because he paid for the steeple to get put on the church.
Ah.
So when the Declaration of Independence was read publicly for the first time, John Nixon walked out the door of at Independence Hall, and he read the Declaration of Independence. What language do you think he read?
John Nixon?
What language do you think our Independence Declaration of Independence was read in first?
I honestly have no clue.
German. It wasn't English.
Really?
There was more German Philadelphians at that time, so he read it in German first, and then
I never knew that.
In English. Yeah, nobody knows.
That's an interesting fact.
Is named after this guy.
George Mifflin Dallas. He was the vice president.
He was the vice president. He was the mayor of Philadelphia, the 14th vice president of the United States, and they named Dallas.
Dallas, Texas, is named after this guy.
And I don't know if you people know out there. We hate Dallas. Philadelphians don't like Dallas.
Really?
We like the Dallas Cowboys. So the fact that this guy here is the reason Dallas exists kind of bothers me.
It's like a thorn in everyone's side.
Yeah, but so whenever I come in here, I just go, Dallas sucks. So the light would radiate more throughout the
Yeah. So this design was invented by Ben Franklin.
And it's called a Franklin light. Now, when he did it, it was a gas lantern.
Right,
it
of course.
Didn't have electricity.
Yeah, Ben Franklin wasn't right here, like putting this in the ground and like.
No, he had people to do that.
Yeah, but this is just this is his version of the lamp, the Ben Franklin lamp.
Yes, and if you come around this side, this part of the city is called Society Hill, and this is one of those areas where the founding fathers mingled, and so they thought it'd be cool to have these lights.
Yeah.
This is actually the first section in America that was gentrified. In 1940, this section was kind of run down, everything was beaten up, and there was a developer, a city controller named Edmund Bacon, who is the father of Kevin Bacon. And he...
Wait, are you serious?
I swear to God, yeah, Kevin Bacon's dad was the controller, the city controller of Philadelphia. And he said to the mayor of Philadelphia, yo, these buildings are falling apart, and it's kind of important to save them. Maybe...
Kevin Bacon's dad. Are you serious?
I swear on my grandmother's grave.
That's more than 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Practically he is Kevin Bacon.
All right, where these ants are, what was here?
This was a punk rock t-shirt shop called Zipperhead. Gained notoriety in the Dead Milkmen song called Punk Rock.
Oh yeah, I know it well.
And the song goes, one Saturday I took a walk to Zipperhead.
Yep.
I met a girl there and she almost knocked me dead.
Punk rock girl, please look at me.
Punk rock girl.
This is you see, you'll travel around the world.
Just you and me.
Punk rock girl.
So this is Zipperhead.
Oh, nice.
Of the graphics, and so feel free to.
That's cool. There's the old neon down there.
This
This is pretty awesome. Take a look at that.
We had a soft opening of this exhibit. This is the home to the South Street Hen House District.
Okay.
They're the business improvement district that helps to oversee this commercial corridor. And so we rented, this is the first time we've ever had an on-street office.
This is great.
And
You get the head
I
is
do,
that you guys?
I
Okay.
do. And the fantastic egg hunt. We have 60 different
Check it out. It
artists.
has the ants. I said spiders. The ants on the side over there too.
Oh, that's awesome. This is serious.
So the ants that are out there, they were there even back in the Zipperhead days.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They're from the Zipperhead days.
Okay,
They're made
gotcha.
of fiberglass.
Literally just sitting out back, and we cleaned it up and hung it up. And all of this ephemera here all comes from Rick's private collection. He kept every letter anyone ever wrote to him. This is pre-Amazon, pre-email. And so it even talks about, one of these notes even talks about when Courtney Love came into her store because Zipperhead had some t-shirts in bad taste. We'll just put it that
okay.
way. And Courtney didn't like
Oh,
it.
there's Sally Starr. I know that means nobody to anything, but that was a big Philadelphia legend.
Huge.
This is interesting. Bill Cosby was ordered to pay 20 cents to a photographer who sued him for roughing him up at a 1992 benefit.
But you see the one ant
Yeah.
that was one of the ants from Zipperhead, and
South Street Art Mart and Crash, but so they had moved over here.
Yeah, well, the rent on South Street is outrageous.
So you just go one block over.
You go a block around the corner and you move in here.
Gotcha.
And the space is smaller, but it has the Zipperhead feel. Movies, you can get a VCR movie, a
So
DVD.
instead of a library, it's a free Blockbuster.
Yeah.
So if you have something extra you want to throw in there, give and take.
There's one near my house, and I had about 1,000 DVDs, so every so often I'll just
drop them in there.
Just do a good deed, help people have a good time.
There's Nanu on the side over here, Mork. That's pretty neat. I have seen the libraries, but I didn't realize they did a free
Who
Blockbuster.
wants to read? You could just watch a movie.
I like this here. You got Sleepaway Camp over here, and then you got Urkel. But this is where Kevin Hart got his start. I didn't mean to rhyme. In stand-up comedy right here. What was the name of the venue?
It was either the Laugh House or Laugh Factory. It had a few name changes. Kevin Hart was a sneaker salesman, and he went in here during like a stand-up comedy competition.
Yeah.
And somebody dared him to go up, and he went up, and he won the competition. He won $50. He came back the next week, won that competition again, and then a week or two later, he started going up to New York to become the legend that we know and love today.
And the rest is history.
Yeah.
You never know what an open mic will lead to.
No. Howie Mandel, same thing. His whole career started on the dare.
And with the city off in the distance, have arrived at the home of the ultimate cheesesteak. Corner of Snyder and what? Snyder and
Wellico?
Wacowie.
We just Snyder at. That's what Snyder at.
John's roast pork, established 1930. According to the Philly captain, the best cheesesteak in Philadelphia.
Best cheesesteak in the world.
In the world?
Yeah. First off, you don't get a good cheesesteak anywhere else besides Philadelphia. But best cheesesteak in the world. I'll let the owner tell you his story. But anybody who knows Philadelphia food knows this place is the place you go to get the best cheesesteak.
Have you always been in the same spot?
Oh yeah, always right here.
Always right here.
If you go to some cheesesteaks place, you order it, and they'll have the meat sit.
Yeah, and they'll have onions like pre-cooked, like everything we have.
All fresh.
Cooked fresh. Like if you want fried onions, we'll cook the onions, and like we cook everything together. Like the cheese, like we don't use Cheese Whiz, like we don't just put cheese. Like we use American milder, sharp.
So I'm a tourist. Are you not supposed to have Cheese Whiz? Is that's frowned upon?
Listen, I whatever you like. I personally don't.
I just want whatever you suggest.
Well, they also changed the formula of Cheese Whiz.
I like extra American and onions. I think is the way to get it.
I'll get whatever you suggest.
I suggest extra, and then I suggest you get a pork sandwich, and then you split it. You get a half of each, and there are
half and half
sandwiches.
Okay.
Yeah, the pork is what my grandfather started selling here in 1930. He sold in the Wooden Shack roast pork and meatball sandwiches. It's like Pat's and Gino's and all the other places.
Now, I've been there. I did that 5 years ago.
I'm friends with the owner of Pat's. He's a tremendously nice guy, Frankie Oliveira. Those guys are great. Everybody thinks we're kind of adversarial, but we're really not.
Yeah.
All us cheesesteak owners, like my dad used to always say, there's enough business for everyone. There really is, And we're only open 10 in the morning till 5 p.m. and only Tuesday through Saturday. Like we're truly a mom and pop shop. It's my wife and I who run the place. My mom's still my boss. She'll be 90 next week. So it's she still does the daily book work. My mom.
Yeah, I see your mom all the time on Facebook.
Yeah, it's great. So I mean, then we won the James Beard in 2008, which was a pretty big deal.
All right. This is one of two. The owner suggested not only a cheesesteak, but also
roast pork.
A roast pork. This is what we're dealing with.
This is it. This is.
Now,
it's a good thing you're videotaping this.
I like to spin it around. That's what I do. I kind of show it from all angles.
Yeah, I think you started that.
Did I start that?
Yeah, I'm going to give you credit. Spinning food around.
It smells so dang good.
Hey, American cheese, onions, cut fresh, the bread. You're not going to have a better sandwich on a better piece of bread.
I've heard the bread. Oh, it's got the little sesame seeds on the side.
That's good. This is John's roast pork. This is the best one,
okay,
so it doesn't matter. And I know you're going to be looking for places all week, and this you can't top the best.
All right, I'm ready. Are we going to dig into this thing?
Let's go.
So this is the roast. And this is
The cheesesteak.
cheesesteak. Oh, yeah.
So I think what you should probably do,
Tell me what I should do.
eat 1/2 of the cheesesteak first.
Okay.
Get that a second. Let that settle, and then we'll go get you.
Polish it off.
Yeah.
Let's do the cheesesteak.
Let's go.
To make sure I'm in the frame.
Now it's a big sandwich. You might want to put the lens back a little bit because there's so much sandwich.
All right, according to the Philly Captain, the best cheesesteak anywhere in the world.
So let's
I
take
trust your opinion.
I wish you well. I will. Thank you.
Come on. Yo, look at his face. Look at his face.
Yeah, what's the pork or cheesesteak?
We did the cheesesteak first.
And see, like it's extra American cheese. That's
good.
the way to get it, man. You know, like everybody says cheese whiz. Like listen, I don't like cheese whiz.
Dang, that's good.
Right? And see, like the
Hit me
trick is, like we like cook the like first of all, I'll put like a bed of onions on the grill. I put some oil, and we put 12 ounces of steak. You know, that's cut, sliced in. We use loin tail. We don't use ribeye like everybody else. And he was like, you know, would let me work a few shifts. You know, and my dad got wind of that,
That is
and
something.
he got so mad. He was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "You could be helping me." Like, and I was like,
Little
"But
did
Dad,
he know you were.
I was like, "But Dad, this place is like right below me."
sick.
You know? So, you know, we lost my dad in April 91, April 2nd, 1991. But I gotta learn, so he was the hardest working man alive, man. He really was. Like, it was a tough act to follow because, my God, that guy, you know, he would.
How proud do you think he'd be of
Oh,
you?
I wish he was here because he never got us to see us in print.
Yeah, but you know what? Your mom is.
Oh yeah, like
And your mom must be so proud of you.
She is. She's great. You know.
Did your mom know what a James Beard Award was?
No,
No.
none of us did. Like we were like, oh my God. And it went to, like I said, it was a black tie affair.
Right.
It was so out of place.
And it's
So
just
thank you, man. And again, man, like, so like, again, like, and everybody says, look at this. See the other places, like, we're only open, like I said, you know, 35 hours a week. So you can't always get our cheesesteak. So like, when you're drunk, you know,
Is it because you run out of the bread? Is that what happens? You only have so much bread?
No, because like I'm a control freak, and like I used to make every single sandwich, you know, and then the business grew, and now it's just not logistically possible.
All right, I gotta say you were right.
what?
It was dang good.
No, I'm the Philly Captain. I'm the Philly Captain. I know with the best sandwiches in Philadelphia.
I like how he put the extra cheese on there. I like cheese.
Yo,
That was awesome.
it's like getting a painting from Vincent van Gogh, painted and made for you.
I see that, yeah.
Right? The guy has a passion for cheese.
He definitely is he talked to us for a while about his passion. Pretty awesome. John's roast pork. Highly recommended from myself and the Philly Captain. Well, Philly Captain first, and now I'm on board.
You can stand in the middle of the street, there's an abandoned railroad track. Kind of shot.
Across the way, you see the city skyline down there, is the USS United States, which looks like the RMS Titanic, and also looks like in Long Beach, the Queen Mary. I think it's the same shipbuilder.
I think it is made by the same shipbuilder of the Titanic. And at one time in the 40s, this was the fastest cruise ship in the world.
Now it's just sitting here abandoned.
It's been sitting here for years. They don't know what to do with it, and it's just rusting away.
And just down the way, you can still see the skyline off in the distance. Have arrived. You want to do it?
Here we are, citizens, Bank Port, home of the Philadelphia Phillies. You got the poster right there of the National League champions, the statue of the greatest third baseman in the history of baseball, Mike Schmidt, the Liberty Bell, which used to hang atop Veterans Stadium. Welcome to my second home, Adam.
This is great. One day, I'll be here. Rays play next year. They play them here, so I'll be here for that series.
You're here now. And the good thing is no one's going to be yelling at you for wearing Tampa Bay stuff.
They got a crew out here that's replacing the scoreboard. They're putting something new up on, or changing the scoreboard around.
It's going to be the biggest scoreboard in the National League.
It's pretty tall.
Pretty big. They've been working on it for a while. They better hurry up. The baseball season starts soon. They got some remnants of what used to be.
Yeah, I remember seeing one of your videos that had like the big P over here. Is it still over here?
Yeah, it's the P on the ground.
Oh, there it is, yeah. Now, was this on the old scoreboard?
Yes. And it said Phillies, but I think it was in a different font than the team uses now. We still use this P, so that's we're going to keep that.
You think they're going to put it back up there?
Yes. A little bit of duct tape and
Some super glue?
I don't know. Yeah, duct tape, super glue.
Speaking of pitchers, the spring training pitchers and catchers just reported yesterday.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And then I think Monday, all of spring training begins for every team, all the players. It's time.
It's time. Football season's over. Let's start playing some baseball. Let's go.
All right, there he is, Mike Schmidt. So you see more Mike Schmidt jerseys than any others? Is that like the one that everybody wears? Or is that just too old school?
You know, I like that you're saying old school. I mean, that just means old people wear Mike Schmidt shirt.
Right.
I would say Bryce Harper's the
Bryce
number one
Harper.
jersey. And then, he's top 3, Mike Schmidt. Yeah.
I do like that you guys got Brandon Marsh, though. He played for the Angels when I lived out in Anaheim.
Yeah.
And he was always a really nice guy, signing for people all the time.
He has a big beard.
Big beard.
A lot of beard.
He reminds me of the running scenes in Forrest Gump.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's very true.
He's the running scenes in Forrest Gump. But I was so happy that he made it to the postseason because the Angels,
Yeah, they don't do
they're
that.
never going to the
They don't do
postseason.
that. Mike Trout will never be in the playoffs.
Yeah, Ohtani's like shedding a little tear every year. There's a Bambi 1 hour photo and cleaners, or no?
It's just dry cleaners.
1 hour cleaners. And now I'm heading down. We're heading to Liberty Bell now, the real Liberty Bell.
This is Broad Street. And if you see that building directly straight with the statue on top,
Yeah.
that's Philadelphia City Hall. We're going to be going there. We're going to be seeing the Liberty Bell. Well, you know what? We might go see where they filmed the movie Mannequin. What do you think of that?
All right, let's do it.
Let's go. Come on, Adam Blue.
All right, here it is, the last resting place of Ben Franklin. Passed away in 1790. That is amazing.
Now, you see how his grave has a crack in it? And
Yeah.
it's kind of the grave was caving in, and we needed money to save Ben Franklin's grave. So Bon Jovi himself donated $10,000 to preserve the grave of Ben Franklin.
Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi, living on a prayer,
Yeah.
baby.
He's halfway there.
Yeah. And they had to put a special coat on top of the
Bon
grave
Jovi.
because you notice people throw pennies.
Yeah.
Because Ben Franklin had that saying, not leave a penny, take a penny. What's a penny saved? a penny saved is a penny
Leave
earned.
Leave I like how the sculpture of Ben Franklin there is like silhouetted out on the mural, almost looks like his shadow.
If you have any old keys, bring them into school, and we're going to make a statue of Ben Franklin.
Out of keys.
Out of keys. And if you go behind the statue here, there is a big blank space. And what this blank thing was, it was a plaque. And it had the names of every firefighter who died in the line of duty.
Yeah.
And they melted that plaque into the back of Ben Franklin because he sort of started the whole fire insurance company, he's a big deal with firefighters. Come on.
The key that Ben Franklin got for his kite?
The key that Ben Franklin got for his kite was he got it from the janitor who worked at Independence Hall. And the janitor at Independence Hall lived in this building here at Loxley Court. This is where we're at. And
Look at this little area, it's awesome.
this little house here is where the janitor or groundskeeper of Independence Hall lived. So he had a bunch of keys. I guess Ben Franklin was a cheapskate. He didn't want to ruin one of these.
He borrowed a key.
He borrowed a key to do the kite and key experiment.
From right over here. Excuse me, sir. May I borrow your key?
Yeah, I'm just going to fly a kite and maybe get electrocuted. This is where
Betsy Ross's house.
Yeah, Betsy Ross lived at this house.
Oh, right here. So let's get those by the flags on the side. Credited with making the first Stars and Stripes flag. Stated here. Successful upholsterer.
She had an upholstery shop. She would make sheets and bed clothing. She made bed skirts for George Washington. So her upholstery shop was right here. You can sort of see in there now. Now, she did make the American flag. She didn't make it in this room because making a flag for a new country while you're part of another country, that's treason. So she did make the American flag. She made it in that room up there where her bedroom was.
That's the room she made the American flag in.
Right. And Betsy Ross is buried right there.
Holy cow. That is
Now,
wild.
if you notice, they say the term credited. There's no real proof Betsy Ross made the first American flag. Because they were performing the act of treason, you didn't really keep much paperwork. So we're not 100% sure if she did. We know she didn't design it. Another man did, who's buried at that cemetery down the street. I forget his name. This is her grave.
Wow. 1836.
We had the Centennial of America. So they had a big, kind of like a World's Fair. And they had all these buildings that they built. And they didn't need all these buildings. So they tore down some of the buildings. Okay. And you see these blue bricks? There's only like 6 blue brick streets in the city of Philadelphia. When you're walking on the blue brick streets, you're walking on the World's Fair. And this is the coolest street in Philadelphia. When you get here, at the end of the street, there's a church. And when you turn here, it kind of looks like, it reminds me of a little shop of horrors. With
Up here?
Yeah, I don't know why. Every time I walk by here, I always want to sing Suddenly Seymour.
Cobblestone or just?
These are not cobblestones. These are Belgian block. These are like bricks they would put in boats from London. They would come over and it would like be balanced for it would have like extra weight for the boats because when they would come to America, they would replace the bricks with tobacco leaves or whatever it was. So they needed to have weight. So they would usually just throw out the bricks, but then Philadelphia said, you know what we're going to do? Instead of throwing out these bricks, we're going to pave our streets in them. This was the biggest building in North America for like 10, 15 years. And Ben Franklin, he went to church here. Betsy Ross went to church here. George Washington went to church here. All the founding fathers went to church here. But Ben Franklin got that steeple installed so he could look at the stars a little bit higher than from here.
From ground level.
Because that building is...
I can see that. So you're saying, I mean, obviously it was filmed in New York, but they're saying this was the inspiration for the top of the building where Stay Puft came up with the Ghostbusters.
That's urban legend in Philadelphia. I don't think that building in Ghostbusters is a real building. I think that was
It was a set.
It was a set. And I think the design came from that building, which is some government building now.
We're running? We don't have much time. Is this Benjamin Franklin's house?
This is the ghost house of Benjamin Franklin. See the house, not this little structure, but the structure back there.
Yeah.
That is where Ben Franklin lived when he lived in Philadelphia. He only lived in it for a short period of time. Do you know what a privy pit is?
No, I do not.
A privy pit is what, back in the day, is like this tunnel, a little cave where people would throw their waste, if you will, their human waste.
Yeah.
So right here is Ben Franklin's privy pit, which means...
That's where he defecated?
This is Ben Franklin's toilet. Sort of, kind of.
Oh, okay. It's like a well.
It's like a well, yeah. You would just dump all the waste down.
Instead of throwing a coin in there, you would throw feces.
Well, I wouldn't do that, Adam. I respect the founding fathers. I would just, thank you, Ben Franklin.
I like that there's a neon Ben Franklin. That makes me really happy. That's pretty cool. So the Liberty Bell's 2 blocks away?
You're ready to go see the Liberty Bell into the ground.
So this is cobblestone.
This is and then horses trot the cobblestones into the ground.
You ever see Boys to Men walking around town? 'Cause they were Motown Philly back again.
I have seen Boys to Men.
Doing a little East Coast thing.
Yeah, they Wanye usually walking around here, Wanye from
Boys to Men.
the 1800s, the 1900s, and the 2000s. This is one of the only few spots in America where you can see a building in one spot from each century America.
1700s, 1800s, 1900s, and 2000s.
2000s, that glass tower.
Yeah.
1700s, that's Carpenter's Hall. That's where Ben Franklin and all the founding fathers first met for the first Continental Congress. Ben Franklin wasn't part of that, but the Continental Congress, George Washington, they met there. The second Bank of the United States was built in the 1800s. Those buildings are from the 1900s. They're all replicas. And 2000s.
That's incredible.
And that's an outhouse.
This is an outhouse.
There's nothing inside these. They just have these here for aesthetic reasons.
Yeah.
And I don't think we need them. I don't think we need outhouses.
All right. You just taught me that this was the first building to ever have an eagle. First bank in the U.S. The first building in the U.S. to have an eagle on the front of it. That is pretty dang awesome. Now that's like synonymous with America.
And it all started here. Now for 30 years, this building was just a storage closet for the park rangers. And then they came out with this musical called Hamilton. And now everybody loves the first bank in the United States. And they're fixing this up, and it's going to open up soon to the public for the first time in so many years. It's really, really exciting. That building's the American Philosophical Society. And the Philosophical Society are the people who started the library system. So if you see that statue of Ben Franklin, he's wearing a toga. And that's kind of like a nod to democracy, Greek, the democracy that they started. And he has the scepter turned upside down, kind of like a thumbs down to the king. And if you look, he has his elbow in a big pile of books. And that's kind of like, I want every man to learn from books. And yeah. It's just a cool statue of Ben Franklin.
There's Independence Hall.
That room right there, that's where Ben Franklin, George Washington, that's where the room where it happened. That's where they signed the Declaration and all that stuff.
Amazing. And then right over here is where the Liberty Bell is.
That building across the street, that is the first Congress and the first Senate of the United States. In that building is where the President of the United States, George Washington, peacefully transferred power over to John Adams. Never done before in the world, the history of the world. Peaceful transition of power happened in that building 2 times. Once George Washington, John Adams, the other time John Adams to whoever he lost to.
There it is. Oh, there's making a spiel here.
This bell has been...
There it is. Can you see it? Oh, there it is, the Liberty Bell.
But
right inside there.
It has become a symbol.
Now, I was here years and years and years ago, and I stood next to it, but it's closed now. We're too late in the day. Okay, looking through this little glass casing here near the Liberty Bell. This is the foundation of George Washington's house when he was president. Can't get any closer than this because it's like all fenced off by this glass window, and the museum's closed at this hour. You can see the foundation of George Washington presidential home right down there. All right, we have stepped inside the world's largest Wawa. This used to be like a bank or something?
A publishing company.
A publishing company. It's inside one of the downtown buildings, and I'm gonna get myself a coffee from here, piping hot caffeinated beverage inside the world's largest Wawa, which started in Pennsylvania. How far is Wawa from here?
30 miles.
30 miles. It was. I never knew. He told me it's named after a farm called
Wawa Dairy. Yeah, if you go to Wawa, if you go into Wawa, you can see that they have a bunch of milks and iced teas and
all right,
a plethora of coffee.
This is on the corner of 6th and Are you a coffee drinker?
I drink coffee.
Let's get some coffee. Enjoy, sip, enjoy, and repeat. Okay, this is what is this? This is a mosaic piece of art?
This is the largest glass mosaic piece of art called the Dream Garden. It was installed in 1910 by a guy named Cypress Curtis. This building was called the Curtis Publishing Building. The Saturday Evening Post was published here. Norman Rockwell, he would paint here. And he put this piece of art up So when his workers went into work, they could look at something beautiful every day before they got to go to work. There's 300 different colors.
The Dream Garden. This is not in the same building as the Wawa. We walked out and went into another building. This is wild. So is this the Saturday Evening Post building?
Mm-hmm. This is where they made the Saturday Evening Post. The word living room was invented in one of those offices. It was from a magazine, Lady Home Journal. They came up with the term.
Word living room.
Yeah.
No kidding. That is so classic.
I think those are original rock walls right there.
Those are original?
Yeah.
1926. There's got to be reprints. Nah, there's got to be reprints.
I don't think they got it.
Think those are originals? I would imagine originals worth a lot of money.
There's a lot of Norman Rockwells. I mean, he did a magazine cover every week. Yeah, he owned it.
He owned it?
Cypress Curtis is the guy who, that's why the C is in the building up there. Curtis building, this is the Curtis building.
Right, he was the original owner.
He was the original owner. He employed that.
Like basically built this.
He ran, that's it. It's his building.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I didn't never notice it.
You may know this is the first magazine.
The word living room was invented in this building.
Wait, so wait, the Curtis is what?
You may know this is the first
I don't buy jewelry at Jewelers Row because it's expensive. But
It's nighttime now, so this, you know what this means?
what's that?
Kensington, here we go.
Let's go. Flowers, and that would be the trim around the hat. So they would decorate your hat for free.
Hats trimmed free of charge. Says it right up there on that little balcony, also that little ledge also. This was the hat district. You get very dapper through here.
And the most incredible, well, it's not the most incredible piece of history, but it's the most bizarre thing that I just recently discovered is inside this building, in the office of Five Below, which is just like a dollar store, but the prices go up to $5.
Now keep in mind, this is inside a store now called Five Below. They have the Independence Hall paneling up inside here around the walls leading into their office. The store's over there, and this is the paneling from Independence Hall.
You could sit here and eat lunch. You could be in this paneling. You would be by yourself for hours. Nobody comes in.
Nobody comes in.
Nobody knows this is here. It's crazy.
And you wouldn't even know unless you just looked over here and saw this, or if someone was with you and you told them.
Right.
Okay, we drove around a little bit more, found another parking spot, and we're gonna go by Love Park.
Well, we're actually at Love Park.
Oh, we are at Love Park.
This guy crossed the street safely. Fingers crossed. Hopefully we make it.
Whoa, that guy's riding through on a motorcycle doing a wheelie. Doing wheelies through there. Wow. You were telling me this was used in 12 Monkeys, the Bruce Willis classic.
Yeah, that City Hall was used for 12 Monkeys. Also the movie Philadelphia, Tom Hanks, Denzel Washington, it's in that.
Yeah. When I look at this, I think of Peter Pan. I can just see Peter and Wendy flying around this. I mean, I know that was in the UK, I believe, but yeah, it's kind of...
Yeah, that wasn't here. That's just Philadelphia.
Yeah, but it looks like that. That's what that reminds me of.
You would see their silhouette above the clock.
Yeah.
Well, you think about Disney all the time, man.
I like Disney.
You sure do.
Yeah.
That's why you're in Philadelphia because of Disney. They got rid of all the stuff that people would grind on.
Yeah.
But this is like the skaters' mecca of Philadelphia. This is the spot. Bam Margera skating.
I remember the Bam footage of him skating here.
Yeah.
But they've removed a lot of the stuff that you could grind on.
Yeah, they got rid of the marble slabs. A lot of marble slabs, and now it's just, this is a water fountain when it's warmer out.
That's pretty awesome.
There are, I think, 70 love statues all around the world. They're made by a guy named Robert Indiana. There were 2 love statues in Philadelphia.
This is kind of like the Rocky statue where a lot of people go and get their photo in front of us all the time.
Oh yeah. Oh sure. Know what the funny thing is? People will stand in line for like 10 minutes to take their picture with the Love Park statue.
Yeah.
But all you have to do, if you stand over here on the side,
Yeah.
it's all about angles. You
Right.
don't need to wait in
This is
line
probably
ever.
better anyway. It's kind of like the Welcome to Vegas sign. There's always a massive line, and if you just go over 2 feet to the side, you just get it from the same angle.
Or like when you were just down at the Keys, that big.
Oh yeah. Well, that's kind of tough. That's a little tougher.
Yeah. I was like, ooh, I wonder if he could do the angle trick there.
You could, but it's tougher. This is a great view with the skyline. Okay, this is pretty exciting. The 80s film Mannequin. This is the store. This is the Macy's.
Yeah, we are about 50 yards away from the same space Estelle Getty stood in. That, if you ever saw the sign where it hangs and
Yeah.
the guy was
Right up there. Ah, Mannequin. Classic.
and this was the window they were married in at the end of the
It was this window where the
Yeah.
Star Rewards is? Man, that's...
See where they hang glide?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Can we go in?
Sure we can.
And this is looking from the other way, up at that clock. And inside Macy's, pretty much looks the same as it did in the movie. In fact, there's like a big foyer when you first walk in with a big expanded roof, was where they did the hang gliding scenes. And it kind of also looks the same with like a big organ kind of going up to the roof. And there's even like at the top where they're doing the hang gliding, there's like a big pigeon in the middle that you can see in the movie. The big pigeon's still here inside the Macy's. And over there are some four-wheelers.
Oh, that's illegal. You're not allowed to ride four-wheelers.
Oh, you can't?
But Philadelphia is kind of lawless when it comes to motor vehicles.
Take a look at this Benjamin Franklin face here. Way up there. All right, this is a good enough place as any to do the outro.
Sure is.
We had a long day.
A great day.
6.5, 7 hours.
Yeah.
Driving around.
Parking, driving around, eating, looking at stuff.
The Philly Captain. Check him out, YouTube's own The Philly Captain.
Hit like and subscribe.
I like to call him the Captain of Philadelphia.
I like to call him the Woo of Adam.
It was fun.
It was great.
I'm finally glad we got to finally meet up after all this time.
This guy's the reason I started making YouTube videos. If you want to start a YouTube channel or start anything, let me recommend this. Start doing it. I started making videos 5 years ago because I started watching Adam the Woo, and now I'm making a video with Adam the Woo. This is really like a dream of mine coming true, and I want to thank you for letting me be part of this.
I'm glad
You know what's funny? I would say,
Oh.
I love you, Adam the Woo. I love you.
Thank you.
Oh.
Oh, that's so dangerous.
Oh.
I thought it was going to be a wreck right there.
I
Look at
was
this.
hoping.
Look at this family crossing the road. That's not good. Those guys are out here doing that.
No, well,
That's probably not the safest thing.
no.
All right. I'll see you in the next video. You want to do the outro?
Do I want to do the outro? The vlog is over.